This is the video called Program Patterns. Over here we have a routine that creates a pattern and then puts it in a polygon on the screen. It starts out saying that the rotation is 0, S, the size is 170, X value 500, Y value 500, which is the center position for patterns. Next says that the control register Z is set to 1. Then it goes into a for next loop, starts the value at I at 1, and down below here it says next I 21. So it's going to go around this loop 21 times. The first instruction in the loop says create an XY value based on a vector from position XY. X and Y, remember, are 500 and 500. It's going to do a vector to another point. Here is the angle, rotation 0, and the size 170. It uses that to create another X, Y position that are in the values of A and B. Well, in a pattern, the X value is at the first 3 digits of a 6-digit number. So if we multiply A, which is the X value here, times 1,000, and then here add to it the Y value, that is the same type notation for points in a pattern. And here we see we're going to set at pattern list plus the value of Z as an offset. Up here it was set to 1, so the first time it will be at pattern offset 1. This value that we created, which was 1,000 times the X value plus the B value created by a vector from a point. If you say here is a point, the vector went straight up because R was 0. After it does that, it adds 1 to Z because it's going to go to the next pattern position. Then it has a branch of equal I to 1 to the label BL. Well, down here is BL. So it's going to do this every time except the first time. Well, let's see why. What it's going to do here is it's going to set the next pattern position, and we know it's the next one because Z always indicates the next location in the pattern list, sets it to 3. Well, 3 is the indication for a curve. There's going to be a curve made. And a curve needs 2 values, and here it says set pattern plus 1 Z offset to 1260. So here it says it's going to be a curve. Here it says it's going to be of type 12 and size 60. After that, it adds 2 to Z. Well, it just put 2 more values into the list called pattern, so it increases the index or offset by 2. Well, now we know why it couldn't do it when I was 1, because at that point there would have been only 1 point in the pattern, and when you draw a curve, it has to be after the 2 points of the pattern, not after just 1 point. Now, after that, we go down here. We add to R, which is the rotation, 40. Well, we know it's going to go around 21 times. Well, 20 times, oh, that's 48, I'm sorry. 20 times 48 is 960. Well, that's a total circle. Going around one more time means it went back to the beginning again. It goes the 20 times around, making vectors, but then it returns the very last one to the beginning. So it goes around 21 times 48. So that's the end of the loop. We know it's generating 21 vectors, and 20 times it's generating a curve between the 2 points. Next, it subtracts 1 from Z. Remember, that's our offset register that we were using each time we put a value into our pattern list. But it all started at 1, so we're taking that 1 back again now. And every pattern is defined by having a value in the beginning of it of 1,230,000, and the last 3 digits are the number of entries in the pattern. We know that to be Z. So here it's building the pattern header, putting it in the first value in our list called pattern. Next, it sets X to 500, Y to 200, sets a color. Then it runs the dots action, which takes a pattern and creates a string of XY values needed by a polygon. And the next thing it says, draw the polygon and fill it. And then it says go home. This is tab 13 of subprogram 4. So we're going to go and execute. Here we say we wanted to go to subprogram 4, tab 13, and here's what it drew. Here was the center. It went up here and made this point. Then it made this point. Then it said, okay, put a curve between those two. Then it made this point and said, make a curve between those two. And here you see it went around and did the points 21 times. It returned back to the beginning. So it did this one twice. Now we can also go back to the program, go to list values, go to the list called pattern, and here we see first the header, which says there are 61 values in the pattern list. We know that 21 of them are the points. The other 40 are the commands telling it to make a curve. Alright, that's our example video for program patterns.